Rich Rodriguez likes lefties. We've got another one out of the state of California love, baby. Cal fans are crying over top of their avocado toast.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I'm the host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we got some good news for once as we look at a player West Virginia has gotten out of the state of California. I'm pretty excited about. Obviously there are good and bad things with every player, but I really like some of the things this kid does. We're going to look at the tape. We're going to show you some of that good. I feel like, and you guys know my philosophy on this stuff, I could probably sit here and critique, some of the stuff that anybody does, but this will be, when it comes to recruits, when it comes to kids or young men like this, 16, 17 years old, I'm not going to jump on here and pick them apart. I'm just not going to do it. It's a celebration to me. So, we're going to be celebrating the good things he does and what Rich Rod sees in him for this offense, because he has some really good things he does. Rich Rod's always been really good at picking quarterbacks for his offense. So just remember, the guys we have this year, he inherited. I was at the gym, yes, but I am back. So let's go ahead and start our channel sponsors, as this episode is going to be brought to you by FanDuel. Right now with FanDuel, new customers can bet $5. It'll make you holler, and if your bet wins, you'll get $30 in bonus bets to use across the app. That's if you win that first $5 bet. Download the app today to get started. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, or your second listen, or your third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Depends how many times I went live today. I went 7 times the other day. So thanks for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Just sounds better when I say it like that. Wyatt Walker Brown is a name. Kind of sounds country. Definitely doesn't sound California. So, we're popping some champagne tonight because I don't drink, but just pretend. Rich Rod just pulled off a heist that Cal fans are going to be crying over their avocado toast for, as I said earlier. Arkansas missed out. UCF missed out. Because Wyatt Walker Brown, a 6'3" lefty slingshot, man, he is a good player from Sherman Oaks, California, planting a flag in Morgantown. He's committed, locked in, 1,000% Mountaineer. He dropped it on X just 2 hours ago, hour and a half ago, fresh off an official visit where he probably saw not the best we had to offer, but that's okay. He enjoyed it. That's great. He probably thought, wow, this is awesome. I can't imagine if they actually are close in a game. He's like, screw the beaches, give me mountains, and here we are. If you're tuning in, buckle up, because this is not a quick hit. This is a full-on, no holds barred. It's going to be a breakdown of a kid who could rewrite the quarterback room coming in next year. We're going to talk measurables. We're going to talk stats. We're going to look at scouts. We're going to talk about what people think about this kid. We're going to check his hard edge meter, and we're going to tell you if he is a gem, a grinder, or what have you. What is it about this kid that I like so much? We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about 10 things I have, 10 questions about our situation in Morgantown right now, as it is a dire situation as we head into Provo Friday night. 10:30 body clock game for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Not exactly what you want after 2 big lopsided losses. And then we'll probably do whatever in the third segment, something cool, I'm sure. So I'll think of something that you'll all be like, over. Okay, so, let's set the scene for you first, right? This is an Appalachian area of the world that we live in. This is a Cali kid, right? So the image that I have is Sunshine from Remember the Titans. If you guys can remember that. I think he was a lefty as well, but I can't remember. So he has the long hair. He was a surfer boy. I have no idea if Wyatt is like that or not. But Sunshine turned out to be really tough, right? So I'm kind of got that picture going right now. Does his name roll like a Hollywood credit? Yeah, it does. But no, this is not a Hollywood actor. This is a class of 2026 quarterback out of Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks. That's the same place that like Clay Matthews that sits beside our boy Pat McAfee came out of, right? So it's got history, it's got merit, it's got players. He's already transferred, so that's look. You can look at the good or bad side of this. He's already transferred in high school, which it was happening before the portal. I mean, kids transferred. It's not like it never happens. He started his high school ball at a lower spot, Santa Monica High. He was kind of an understudy, and then said, "You know what? I'm going to take a shot on myself." He goes to Notre Dame ahead of his junior year in the Mission League, and guess what? He was chasing rings, and they did it. They went from a bad team to a good team, and he just, I mean, he was so excited. I'll show you some of the quotes, but like he was really proud of himself, the way they kind of turned some things around there at the program that they were at because they were bad, and then I think they won a championship. So that's awesome. We love to see that. As I said, he had some pretty heavy hitters coming after him. Cal, which is the backyard for him, Arkansas and UCF, and a couple others. Arkansas State was after him, who runs a really fun offense. So, he had Wyoming, other teams that are Division I were looking at him. So this is not a pity commit, right? This is a Power 5 level player that I think that is a little underrated. That's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And he's coming to West Virginia all the way from California. You got to have a chip on your shoulder. They've had to have told him what the program's about. They've got to have told him exactly what to expect, right? And so it's a big early win for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Absolutely, as he'll probably be an early enrollee. He'll be 2026. And there's a ton of people buzzing about this as far as in the West Virginia space. We're going to get into the tape. Film doesn't lie, obviously, and he's built like a prototypical pocket guy, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got a pro frame for sure. He's got a really high release. I like some of the stuff he does in practice to practice his release. He'll stand in front of a soccer post, and he'll release the ball right at the top bar, which is about 7 feet tall, so that you keep that release high, right? That way you're not releasing it down here or over here or wherever. So, interesting, right? And he looks good throwing the ball. He's got a beautiful release. I mean, he really does have a beautiful release. He's no threat, but he's probably more like he's shifty, man. He can juke, I guess is the best way I could put this, but I haven't seen any tape of him absolutely blowing the doors off anybody. He's more of an effective scrambler than anything else. He can run the offense, though. Stats-wise, he had an explosion his sophomore season. I mean, he really did. At Santa Monica, as a freshman, he went 93 at 150, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 8 picks at 62% completion rate. He was learning the ropes. Sophomore year, 215 of 319 for 3,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That's 67-ish% completion percentage. So that's a big jump. Now, this past year, he's really taken it up a notch. 4,133 yards, 30 touchdowns, 19 picks. He's got 88 carries. He's got an 88-yard run, a 92-yard run. He's got 6 touchdowns. So he's not just a drop back kind of guy. He can pick up the first down. He can turn and burn. He likes to put his shoulder down at times. And, his junior year is off to a great start. So he's got poise as well. I've noticed he's got a ton of different arm angles. There's a ton of advanced metrics out there right now that say he does a little bit of everything well as a passer. So, If you look at the LA Times, who just did an article on him, said he's got terrific upside. He can run too. He's seeking a challenge as far as what he said in the article, but he's got a big arm. That's the thing about this kid. He's got a big arm. This is a passer. This is not a runner. This is a passer that can run, not a runner that can pass. And we know the last time we had one of those for real was Pat White. So, he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in his area for sure. I mean, Cal went after him, but I mean, he didn't get the big ones that people in his area normally get, right? So let's do the hard edge meter, and then we'll go to break, and then we'll check out the tape on the kid, because that's where I'm going to convince you. Talk is cheap, right? Let's get hard edged, and let's do the score here. So as a passer, I've got him at about an 8.2 out of 10. He's got really great zip on the ball. He's got good completion percentage at 65.7%, and he throw it a lot. So that's saying a lot. 30 touchdowns, 19 interceptions is a lot. It's a lot. But he's a gunslinger, I guess the best way to put it. He really is. As we said, he's very good he can extend runs, 6 touchdowns on the ground. He can extend drives with his legs, but not a ton of volume on the runs. So you'll only see a couple. My guess is he's probably around that 4.7 line on the 40, but it's really hard to tell. Here's his most elite trait: arm strength, 9.1 out of 10. He throws lasers. This kid throws lasers into tight windows. He's got a whip for an arm that could really feast in a good spread type offense. Decision making is a 7.2. He's got a little ways to go there. A 3.4% interception rate is not exactly what you want, but he's still learning. He's only a junior in high school. He's only been starting for 2 years. So I think he can bump that up to an 8 or 8.5 by his senior year easily. And then you look at his poise and leadership. He's a vocal kid. He's a Cali kid. He's chased competition his entire life, he says, and he wants to be the face of the offense wherever he goes. So he's unproven, but he's, he's earning those stripes right now, obviously, with the offers he's getting. So he's not just really a commit. He's a spark for Rich Rodriguez, who is out on his revenge tour as well, right? Rich Rod is. So now he is a Mountaineer. And I'll tell you, watch this kid. This kid's got some talent. And I'm going to prove it to you right after the break as we watch his tape. He can throw that ball around. We'll be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends over at, where are we at? 5 Hour Energy. Listen, when it comes to 5 Hour Energy shots, we know you don't want boring, flavorless caffeine, right? Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5 Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine, 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the same caffeine as a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins, nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere you go and get that boost you need when you need it. I love how fast it kicks in. It's sugar-free. Don't have to worry about the crash later. That's where I'm at with this. It's enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your flavor upgrade on your caffeine with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in store online at 5hourenergy.com or at Amazon today. And for whatever reason, here we go again. This is like the third or fourth time this week this has happened, man. It's frustrating, I hate technology sometimes. It just don't want to work sometimes, but there's nothing you can do about it. There, we got it that time. It's in there because they can look at this digitally and see where the marker is, so they know where the ad reads are. All right, so let's get to some tape here. This is where I'm excited to show you. So Wyatt Walker Brown is a good player. We're about to show you why. All right, let me wind it back. This is a bad spot on the field. But as you can see, I mean, just a cannon for an arm. How far did that one go? So, what happened? Error loading media. Well, let's refresh it. That was weird. Probably where I had it paused for so long. So we'll have to do it again. Sorry, guys. Technology just does not want to work today, does it? Oh, gosh. Here we go. This is the same ad I had to watch when I opened it. I always pre-watch the ads. That way you guys don't have to. All right, here we go again. So he throws this thing from, I want to say the 20-ish, right around he lets that thing go on the 20, and it goes to the 35. So that's pretty good. See here, you see how he can move around, how he can run. Nice juke move. There's another juke move. There's another juke move. That's where I'm telling you the juke moves come in. So it's funny because he doesn't have a ton of rushing yards on his record, guys, at all. Like, you can barely find them. But I'm telling you, this kid here is he's like Khalil was last night. Not a whole lot of straight line speed, but he can make people miss. And that's more important to me anyway. Watch these juke moves, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Touchdown. Nice play, man. Can you imagine in a Rich Rod offense with those kind of moves? And then the cannon on. Look at that laser. I mean, look, guys. That's so impressive, right? Here he is. I mean, he's so tough to get. And look at those instincts, right? Man, so impressive. And then you get him in a college weight room where, I mean, look at that arm, man. There's some things that can be corrected on it as far as from a release standpoint. But I mean, if you want to talk about like the whip of the arm movement, or as they say in baseball, the arm action, it's freaking elite, dude. Like, he's got some really insane qualities. Now, obviously, his shoulders right here aren't completely squared, right? It's hard to see, but as you can see, his shoulders are more turned this way instead of all the way square with the end zone. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, he's got the arm. So he's got a point. I mean, he's going to be, I wouldn't count against him, but I would say he's probably going to be a red shirt. Maybe you can bring him in as by his redshirt freshman year. You hope so. But I mean, gosh, man, this kid's got talent. He's got a lot of talent. Especially with the lateral movements that he can do. As you can see on this play before, like, he's not a burner. Like, he's not Lamar Jackson, right? He's got some speed. But I mean, he's not tearing it down. He's not outrunning probably D1 guys. But here's where, like, moves like this. Look at this little juke move right here. Boom, right? Let this guy just sit and, it's these moves like this where I think he's going to be more effective, because he's not slow. That's a pretty throw. He's got such a great arm angle, right? Or a great arm action. I mean, not angle. And this is up under center, right? 1, 2, 3. And he's got some work to do on his mechanics, but man, it's one of those people like Mahomes. Now, he's not Mahomes level. I'm not saying that. He's just the example I want to use. Like, Patrick Mahomes has got such an incredible arm that he doesn't always have to be set, right? He throws all platform, like, look at the 3-step drop here. It's just flat-footed. He's not bouncing. He's not, it's just 1, 2, 3 and go. And he's just got such a talented arm. It doesn't matter. And they like to roll him out to his left, huh? Look at that one, man. Beautiful throw. And on some of these, you really get a feel for how hard he throws it. I mean, he really throws it hard, which I like. I mean, you got to have that. That's something in the game, that you can't always teach. And that's a pretty good little comeback there. You know, the playbooks, when you got a kid like this, the playbook's pretty much wide open, right? You can do whatever. There he is rolling right, throwing, I mean, perfectly done. Yeah. So, you know, this is a guy that, and that's a beautiful timing pass there between those two. You can tell they practice this a lot, huh? This ball's released probably right as he turns around or right before. Yeah, look, he's already into his motion. He hasn't turned around yet. Now he has, and the ball's right here. So that's how you beat people, right? Great job. Good throw there too, man. His mobility really helps him a lot with this team. They like to use it, but here's what I like him the most, man. When he's under duress, you never know what he's going to do, and his instincts take over. And he gets really fast all of a sudden whenever he's under duress. Look at this move here. Boop. I'm out of there. And a great throw moving to his right as well. Why would they put the camera there, you think? But yeah, this is California ball, man. It's kind of odd to see him. There's another great juke. He's tough to wrangle in. 6'3", you know, so he's a big kid. Well, he's a good sized kid. I mean, he's not Drew Aller, right? Or somebody like that. But I mean, yeah. Double move, nice throw. Look at that throw, man. Oh my God. I might have let off the entire highlight tape with that throw there. Look at the double move, you know, out of the shotgun. You got the double move and just perfectly thrown in stride. How far did he throw this one? I mean, they're on the 10, so they're on the 10-yard line. And this one, he got hit, and this travels to the 51 or something like that. So, you know, it's 40-something yards in the air after he got hit in the face. Nicely done, huh? Here he is again with those instincts. I don't like the ball in his left hand there. That's a bad habit. You know, that'll be definitely brought up out of him at West Virginia. I mean, immediately you got to put that in your right arm, right? Oh, a good player is going to just knock it right out of there at the D1 level for sure. So this is him. I'm curious how some of y'all feel. Obviously, the arm is there, the running ability is there. I think there's a lot on this plate, or there's a lot on this to a lot of clay here to malleate. I think he's going to be malleable, somebody that you can really turn into a good player. I mean, that's just a cannon. So, he's got a big arm, and you could do a lot with that, right? The field opens up when a guy's got a big arm. When he's like Jarrett Dagey, you have to be more precise or something. But, when you got a guy like this, it's changes things. So that's him, though. I mean, there's no need to watch much more of it. He's talented. He's got a lot going for him. And I think West Virginia lucked out getting him. I think he's definitely under the radar. So, yeah, I mean, Rich Rod's never really went after, as far as quarterbacks go, outside of maybe one or two occasions, 4- and 5-star players. So, I mean, if that's what people want, it's just not going to happen. I mean, you might as well give that up. Maybe they go after somebody like that in the portal. But, in today's day and age, if you're going to pay a lot of money, you may as well, unless you can get the number one player in the country at quarterback, like Dante Moore at Oregon or something like that, or, Nico Maliaba or whatever, you don't want to really shell out a ton of money for a 4- or 5-star guy unless you 100% know that he is a special talent that you're going to win with. Otherwise, that money's best spent on a quarterback out of the portal. As you can see with Utah right now and Dampier, that's a great pickup for them, right? Or yesterday, Darian Mensah at Duke. I mean, what an insane day he had. Goodness gracious. Duke destroyed Syracuse, which was shocking to me. I just did not see that coming. Darian Mensah was 22 of 28, 268 yards and 2 touchdowns yesterday. Pretty crazy stuff, man. Pretty crazy stuff. Darian Mensah had negative 22 yards rushing, though. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'd want out of Cali if I was him, too. That's right. 100%. Let's go to break. I've got 10 big questions I want to ask you guys about this Mountaineer program right now. We'll be right back. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our friends over at QO. QO, one of the tools that help make a huge difference for business owners is QO, formerly of Open Phone as well. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before on the show. It's just with a new name. It's kind of why it matters is this. Every missed call is an opportunity. It's money left on the table for you. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that's connected 24/7. QO is the number one phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying two phones or relying on a landline. Whether you're a solo operator juggling everything or part-time or larger team, QO makes it easy to stay responsible and professional. See why over 90,000 businesses trust QO right now, which used to be Open Phone. Get started for free today and get 20% off your first 6 months at QO.com/LockedOnCollege. That's QUO.com/LockedOnCollege. And if you've seen existing numbers or if you have existing numbers with another service, QO is going to port them over with no extra charge. Do it today with QO. No missed calls, no missed customers. And of course, we have to talk about our friends over at FanDuel. The NFL season is here. FanDuel has a can't miss offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 that'll make you holler and get $300 in bonus bets. That's if you win that first $5 bet. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5. If it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. $300 in free money. Come on, man. That's pretty cool. I love how FanDuel gives away so many ways to play. I bet parlays. I've built parlays, tried player props, even follow the live lines during games. So what are you waiting for? If you visit FanDuel.com today to download FanDuel's app and get started, you'll be doing a great thing. All right, we are back here at Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. Thank you guys for joining as we talk about this Mountaineers, the situation surrounding the Mountaineers. Let's have 10 questions about yesterday and now and things. I'm asking questions. I'm not making accusations. I'm not saying it's my opinion. I'm just asking questions that are floating out there, okay? Question number 1. Is Rich Rodriguez still the guy to fix this, or has the honeymoon ended after just 6 games back? Obviously, fans love the Pitt overtime thriller on September 13th. But now back-to-back blowouts, it seems like we've just had a hard time getting ourselves up off the mat from that game. And we did lose a lot that day. We'd already lost a lot before that game. So I think, fans are questioning the proven winner narrative, right? So I'm just asking the question, not saying it's my opinion, right? I want to know how people feel. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that we made a mistake? Do you think that we're in a Mike Gundy situation where maybe he won't get with the times? Do you think we're in a Dabo Swinney situation where he's missed out on the times? Or do you think Rich Rod will absolutely fall into line and do what it takes to win? I'm going to tell you, I think he'll do what it takes to win, and I'll show you why. Let me get to my thing here. Where is it at? There it is. Okay, so Rich Rodriguez is, let's see, West Virginia first stint. So obviously from 01 to 07, he was 60 and 26. We all know that. But we know that he struggled in the beginning, right? We know that in year 1, it was rough at times. I mean, it's not a secret, right? We all know that. November 6th, 26, 2000, we asked he would return to West Virginia, this time as head coach, retiring Don Nehlen. His first season at West Virginia was a disappointing 3-8. They greatly improved the next year as they went 9-4, finishing as runner-up in the Big East, right? And then we know how the program continued to evolve from there. My question for you guys is, do you think we can have the same kind of improvement from year 1 to year 2 in this scenario? Do you think Rich Rodriguez can improve the team under these circumstances we live in now? I'm not talking about the way it used to be, how you could take a roster and recruit and stack and recruit and stack and recruit and stack and recruit and stack. And by year 6 or 7, you're playing for the Natty. I'm talking about the portal where it's no longer about the culture. It's no longer about the destination. It's no longer about being part of West Virginia and something bigger than yourself, and falling in love with a state that has a lot of charm. It's no longer about, becoming a man. It's, we're going to give you this money before you've even earned it and pray that you're successful. I think that's a pretty fair way to put it. So, is Rich Rodriguez still the guy? I pray that he is. I think that he is. Personally, I think that he is. But I do have questions and I do have worries about it. You know, the whole pay-for-play model that they have and earn success and all that. I want it to work so bad. I do. And I think earned success is good. I think that's a great thing to teach kids. But in this model that we have, is it reality? Is the question I have. Is it reality? Is it realistic to think that these kids are going to say, oh, yeah. I mean, I trust that you'll pay me like what I'm worth whenever we get there. Or, yeah, I mean, I like the scale you have set up on the team. Like, there's no – my big questions are like, if you've got a superstar on the team, how much more can they earn? And we have to start recruiting Power 4 talent at some point, you know. We got some this year, but they were backups. I want other starters. I mean, if you're going to get $16 million, surely you can get a couple Power 4 starters here and there. I know they had to fill out the entire roster this year, and maybe that's why I'm doubting things, because I don't know how it's going to work. Like, my biggest problem is this, guys. We may have to go out and get 60 people again. I don't know. I mean, that's why I told somebody else earlier, we literally need in the worst way. I can't explain to you how bad we need Khalil Wilkins to be good. We need Xavier Bosley to turn back into what he was. We need Agbo. I think he's a junior or something. We need him to be able to stay. We need Landon Livingston to improve. We need Nick Cray to improve. Like, we need some guys that are already here to get better in a hurry. And we need them to be better next year, because we can't replace the entire offensive line again next year. That in and of itself can't happen again. If we have to go out and buy 5, 6, 7, 8 guys again next year, the season is not going to go well unless you do what Oregon did and spend $2 or $3 million on the offensive line. Because when they're that talented, you can work through some of the other stuff that offensive lines have to work through and still be good, because you're just better than the guy in front of you. When you're deficient in talent, you have to be 100% in technique and want everybody on the same page. Well, when you're in year 1 with 4 other guys, that's impossible. It's just not possible. Oregon, they've got 4 or 5 new guys on their offensive line this year, but they're all NFL type guys. So, they just beat the guy in front of them. It's that simple. as to where with Rich Rod, you're out scheming guys a lot. We weren't more talented than Georgia in 2006. We weren't more talented than Oklahoma in 2008, really. We weren't more talented than Clemson even. But we out-schemed them. With Dana, we had the unique offense. We had Tavon Austin. We had more talented players at some spots. But overall, those teams were all more talented than us top to bottom. Georgia, had that game gone into overtime, we would have never won that game. We were really tired on defense, especially. So point is, we have to have at least 50% of this roster back next year so that they can go out and, preferably you only want to go get 15 or 20 guys. That's really the max you want to have to add. But this team, there's no way we're going to need maybe 30 or 40 probably. So that's what sucks because it lowers what you can spend. If all you need is 15 guys, man, you can really go out and go after it. You can get really good players then. Think about this. If you need 15 guys, you can pay all 15 guys $1 million. You can go after 15 $1 million guys. And you could really make a change then. But if you need 40 guys, or much less 80, like we did this year, 75 or 80, whatever the true number is. I keep hearing 70. I heard 71, 72, 75. I've heard 80. I don't know. It's somewhere in there. I guess if you count the freshman class, it's 80. It's a frustration. I meant to go through all 10 of these. Number 2, what's killing the offense? The quarterback carousel, the O-line. Is it the scheme mixed with the talent we have now? I think it's all, by the way. I just wanted to ask the question. Number 3, can this defense that's already been gashed for 48 points, can they gel again? Or has the attrition actually taken its toll now? Because I think we'll be okay after the bye. I think we'll be all right then, but getting there is going to be a problem. And I really think we need to somehow, if we can win this BYU game, we'll have a chance at a bowl game still, which is, I'm still holding out hope for. I know you can call me crazy, but that's just the truth. I'm still going to, until it's off the table, I'm going to hope it happens. You're not a fan. What else do we got to hope for? I'm not going to say anybody's not a fan. I don't mean that towards anybody specific. I'm frustrated right now, guys. That's all. How much rope does Rich Rod get before the AD pulls the plug, right? Oh, my neck gets hurting looking up at this camera. That's a question I just want to throw out into the ether. How much rope does Rich Rod get? 3 years, 4 years? I would say 3 probably max. It's probably the most you can let him have, because anything more than that and it's not working, and you run the risk of being left behind for sure. Or you stick with it. I don't know. He'll be older by then. I honestly, I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest. It's a tough question, isn't it? Will West Virginia have to start over big in the portal next year? That's my question I started already once. We don't know. We'll find out. Are there enough good players to begin with next year on the team? And can you keep the ones that you have? Obviously, that's going to be a retention nightmare. Like Brad said on 3 Guys today, Cam Bond's phone's blowing up right now. His phone's blowing up right now. Believe that. Cam Bond is blowing up. Jaheim White blowing up. Are there even enough good players? Oh, I already said that. Injuries or excuses with the makeshift O-line thrown into the fire against Utah. Is this bad luck or bad depth building? Because here's my thing. I know you got a late start in recruiting, But you mean to tell me for 6 weeks now, this is the best 5 offensive linemen we have? And you chose these players, and yet and still we can't switch it up, not even one different player. Like, finally, they benched McAniole at halftime or whatever it was. But, like, until then, nothing. No, there's still been the same starting offensive line for every single game this year, despite the fact that things have been so bad. And I get it. They might perform the best in practice, but at some point you have to punish people for not performing on game day, the most important and holiest of days. So, I watched, and again, we were down big, but I watched Agbo come in there. I watched Carson Lee come in yesterday and perform pretty dang well at times. Can they continue it? I don't know. So it's a frustration for me, dude, like to continue to try to monitor this. Can Rich Rod land a top 40 class, in high school? Can you land a top 25 class in the portal? If we're going to be in the top funding tier of the Big 12, is that possible? Number 9, at 2-3 and 0-2, can we salvage bowl eligibility without a miracle run? Obviously, Oklahoma State is the next worst team besides us in the league right now. And then 10, fan faith, with Fire Rich Rod chants already happening. Fire Rich Rod is not viral, but it's out there on social media. You can find it. There are empty seats. There's NIL. Worry, even though we've been told we'll be in the top funding tier. Will it stop the rebuild before it even starts? I mean, is it going to hold our momentum? Where our fans, because they're so passionate, run people off? Because, like, I have had specifically 2 players tell me that they left because of a lot of it had to do with the fans on social media. And I get it. A lot of fans are bad on social media, which is what I said. But we have some fans that will go another step sometimes. And they're the kind of fans that nobody really wants to claim. They're these guys that, in some cases, like, I don't have a problem with all burners at all, but I have a problem with the ones that use their burner as a way to act the way they are in real life. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say something about my dad, or they'll make fun of my drug history or whatever. Like, that doesn't bother me, but it says what kind of person they are, right? So we have fans that will be can be really mean, and it's all fan bases do, but some of we're such it's a fishbowl, right? Rim Baker says, it's a fishbowl experience, where, because there's no other pro teams or anything, like, our fans only have one place to direct their hate. As to where you might have the Steelers, you might have the Penguins, you might have the Pirates in Pittsburgh or wherever. In West Virginia, you don't have that. So, West Virginia, we get it a little bit worse because of that. Other than that, guys, I think that's about it. I think I've got it out of my system for tonight, but I got a lot more ranting to do this week. I'm going to release my video about my trip to Provo this week. I just decided to wait because, for a lot of reasons I'll explain when it comes out. It's going to be a good one. I had a good time there. A lot of great scenery. I'll show you guys what West Virginia will be playing in. When you see pictures of the stadium, you'll see some video of the stadium. You'll see some other stuff that's pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and I will see you on the next one. Make sure to do me a big favor and check out Locked On College Football when you get time. Spencer does an excellent job. He's one of the most talented people we have, and I mean that. Other than that, thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day, the Mountaineers. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your night, rest of your weekend. Good night.